Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome to the sixth episode of season 4 of the Shaherald Night Live. Tonight we're trying to discuss the occult.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Why is
wabarakatuh.
there?
Hi everyone, welcome
Hang
to the
on, I need
sixth
to.
episode of season.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm going to be discussing about the occult, Satanism, and secret societies tonight. Okay, we can't cover everything in an hour. We'll try our best to cover as much as possible. Oh, and that's Sister Ruisi. You can see tonight's panelist. Sister Ruisi, you're kind of like the other way around.
One sec. Let me try to flip myself over.
Okay. I think you just keep it to this angle since your camera won't turn around.
I'm so sorry about my phone right now. I don't know what's happening.
All right, no worries. Okay, so tonight, before becoming a Muslim, I myself was like looking into stuff like that because I was curious about what they do and the kind of practices they do and why is it so alluring to people. After doing a lot of research, of course, it goes down further and further the rabbit hole we go. And today it's I think, ever more relevant in our times because things are kind of coming to surface compared to many years ago when it's more quiet. I would think that way, but who knows? We have the panelists here to share with us tonight. So without much further ado, we have tonight on the show Brother Muhammad from Singapore. Thanks for joining us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Brother Muhammad.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It's okay. Yeah, the signal sometimes takes a while. And Brother Adnan from Singapore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh, he's muted. Hang on. Yes.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. And we have Sister Ruisi from Canada, Toronto.
Assalamualaikum. Sorry, I just fixed the rotation thing on my phone. Hope everyone's doing well. 10 a.m. here. Lovely day on the balcony.
Woo! Looking beautiful in Canada. Wish I was there, enjoying the scenery and the cold breeze. Singapore is always just warm and wet. That's all we have. And finally, Brother Idris from Seattle, United States. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thanks, brother. Thanks again for joining on all our streams. It's really good to see all of you. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone about the sponsor, the Hafiz program that is done by Sister Naila. Let me do a share screen. 1 second. Bring up the tab. Okay, share. Currently now, she has already collected about £5,769. This will go to sponsoring an orphan in South Africa, I think Gambia. That's where West Africa in Gambia. And basically, there are low-income families who cannot afford to send their children to school. So currently, the school have 36 orphans that need sponsoring so they can be a Hafiz of the Quran in 3 years. So it costs only £19 a month to sponsor an orphan to study at Iqra Academy. So do be generous and support this initiative by Sister Naila. The link is going to be on the description in the video on YouTube, also on my Instagram bio. And click on the link and if you wish to donate. All right, back to tonight. Okay, let me start with occult and Satanism. I'll put them together because, they kind of share a lot of similar traits. They kind of like when you do occultism, it goes on to Satanism next. Where is the play button? Yeah, slideshow. Okay. Yep. Okay. Occultism involves a belief and knowledge of the use of supernatural forces or beings. Such beliefs and practices, principally magical or divinatory, have occurred in all human societies throughout recorded history, with considerable variations both in their nature and in the attitude of society towards them. Have you anyone seen this Netflix? I'm just curious for the panelists. Have you seen this Netflix show yet? None? Okay. Okay, fortunately, okay. I would advise that certain parts you should skip because there is the chanting uh, and symbols. Okay, for me, I personally would do the skipping for those parts because I know what it can possibly hypnotize people in certain ways. Maybe we should see the trailer.
你们相信祝福吗？现在我们来做个测验，请在脑中试着将摩天轮向右转，再向左转。向左，向右，向左，向右。这张火车行进图也可以依照你的意志改变前后方向，请试着用意念去控制它。你看见了吗？我们的意念悄悄地塑形这个世界，这便是祝福的原理。
我叫李若男，6年前曾经触犯了可怕的禁忌。后坏在哪里？如果一直想着怪物的话，怪物就会住到你的脑袋里面去哦。不要想。如果可以，我真的希望你不是我的小孩。
那是诅咒，我觉得我开始相信。
我不是一个好妈妈。
All right, so you see the trailer. Oh, still got some parts left. All right. People might be thinking I'm promoting for Netflix here, but not doing that. It's just I came across this video and was just curious what it does. Oh, hang on, what happened? One moment. Yes. And of course, oh wait, hang on, wait. Why is it doing this? How do I do next? Next. Oh yeah. Probably should have done this from the start, which is to inform everyone about the warning because of a disclaimer. Just one moment. Sharing screen. Yeah, because some of our audiences may not be mature audiences, so just note that this one is like everything else, just consider it for mature audience. Okay, so coming back to the video, what do you guys think about this? Any thoughts on occultism? This is one of the many few, of course, we have around the world, and this particular one, there's a lot of hand symbols. There's like tattoos on the body that they have, and okay, now it's also the 7th month in the Chinese Hungry Ghost Festival, right? They just started. Okay, maybe Brother Idris from Seattle don't know this. I don't know about Ruisi from Canada. Are you aware of the 7th month?
I've only heard about it, but I don't personally know anybody who practices that tradition specifically.
Ah, okay. Well, over
But
here in Singapore, and I mean Southeast Asia at least, right? There's it's quite common to see the 7th month being practiced here, and they would burn the hell notes, and of course they would actually think that during this time is when your deceased loved ones would come back, and that's where they can visit you, and you can also offer your respects to them. That's the theory behind. After a month, you have to go back to Hades. Oh no, that one is a Greek mythology. Go down to hell, come back. The gates. again. Yeah. Any thoughts on just what you watch? Maybe you guys have come across symbolism, occultism.
Okay, the
Well-
one that I just want to say is
Yeah.
the trailer. So far, nothing that I see there is not true.
Yeah. Apparently, it's based on true events. It's based on true events. It really happened in Taiwan.
Yeah, so I'm actually trying to say that I'm confirming whatever they are portraying. Most of it that I saw in the trailer is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why I would advise you to skip those parts because actually, okay, I'm not going to spoil everything, but the dangerous parts I would say is the parts where she actually asks you to look at this symbol for 1 minute or less. I mean, maybe no, sorry, in film, I think maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds, she asks you to stare at this symbol and repeat the words after her. Okay, and of course, why would you do that in the start of the film? But intermittently between the film, she again shows this symbol, and at the end, she explains why she asked you to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you why, so you can watch the show if you want to watch. But it's not something nice. Just let's end it that part. Okay. Yeah.
This feels to me like they're literally holding your hand into the world of the occult, really.
Occultism.
I'm just disgusted by it.
Thanks for
Actually, I cut off Netflix because I'm so disgusted by their subtle programming. But this is exactly why I got sick of Netflix. Unbelievable. They're literally holding your hand into the world of the occult. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I guess you have to be careful.
It
Brother
had quite the Blair Witch feel. I feel like all their indoctrination stuff is very similar with the jump scares, the symbols, the everything. It's always I hate to call them lazy, but they always do the same stuff, and it is what they do. It is what they believe in, and they are just trying to make it mainstream. And it's no different than people's clothing. If they make it mainstream, people will do it.
Yeah, it's about normalizing things that are usually not normal in society. Yeah, cool. All right.
Another thing I like to add. Oh wait, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like from a film perspective, because like I studied like 3 years in film, and I'm going to my 4th year. Sorry, that's definitely from backup. But like in like kind of like the film context, it's really popular and really common for horror films and films that are scary or alarming to attract more views than just like any normal quote unquote coming of age films, because like for example, if you think of the theater, usually people don't go to horror movies alone, right? They go in big groups of friends, usually marketed towards young people or teenagers or young adults. And for this purpose, like certain types of movies are more infectious or more trendy and can kind of like pass on quickly than others. Say that you see like a really emotional movie or a really good movie, you'll tell like 1 or 2 people about it. But if you saw something that's so scary, like everyone's going to be talking about it. And that's why we have things like Squid Games, right, that are really trending on Netflix. Things that depict a lot of like terrible things like violence and like extremism, and like in terms of like all these like crazy ideas, like like it's clearly like has this undertone of of this type of evil that's kind of like runs underneath, kind of like throughout the video, that's common within videos like I can't remember the name, but it's like the one with the doll, the Annabelle doll, The Conjuring, or this one, or anything that promotes like this like mass killing of human beings or something like that. I think it's kind of interesting how like these type of movies and films are more infectious than any other genre.
I guess it's because it's like a forbidden fruit, right? So it's like when you say don't touch that, and people will just like, oh, why not? And then you try to get curious about it and think, oh, maybe there's something you don't want me to know or something. You just try to find out more about it, and eventually you just go into it. I mean, there's a story in the Bible as well that what happened to Adam and Eve, right? Yeah, she wanted to find out more. The Satan trying to tempt her to take the apple, and she just got curious about it and took the apple. But that's again not related to this topic tonight. Okay.
Has anyone gone
Yeah.
deep into their actual religion of what they believe? And does anyone know the figures that they worship? And is anyone familiar with the religion Kemet?
Mm.
That's the vast majority of what they follow, and that comes from Pharaoh and Hiram Abiff. So both figures in the Bible, one figure that's in the Quran, Pharaoh.
Mhm.
But yeah, it all comes from. It all stems from that.
Cool. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, maybe a figure that is quite popular in occultism. Aleister Crowley, British occultist, writer, and mountaineer, who was a practitioner of magic, as he spelled it, and called himself the Beast 666. He was denounced in his own time for his decadent lifestyle and had few followers, but he became a cult figure after his death. He was one of the most controversial figures in modern British history. Like many other religious skeptics of the 19th century, Crowley became interested in occultism, and in 1819 he joined the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, an organization derived from Rosicrucians. One of Crowley's rivals within the London Golden Dawn group was poet William Butler Yeats. So he visited Egypt and reported mystical experiences and wrote the Book of the Law, a prose poem which he claimed had been dictated to him by a discarnate being called Aiwas. In it, he formulated his most famous teaching: do what you will shall be the whole of the law, meaning centering your inner self as what you will and just do it without any law. He later founded his own order called the AA, using initials that stood for the Latin words for silver star. And okay, he's also gone through World War One and World War Two, and of course his wife is also I think her name is called. Wait, hang on, let me see, where is it? Yep, Rose. Rose is his wife. He had two children. The first one was passed away at a very young age. And another thing to note is his religion that he came up with. Let me see. Thelema is an infamous new religion that he came up with. So his wife Rose was meditating. She informed Aleister that the Egyptian god Horus was waiting for him. In 1904, through his own meditation, he heard the voice of Aiwas, the personal messenger of Horus. Using the words of the messenger and Horus himself, Crowley transcribed the Book of the Law, the book that would become the basis of his new religion, Thelema. The main teaching of Thelema was similar principle to the one that Crowley had lived by his whole life: do what you will. Teachings were intended to act as a successor to Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and were seen as extremely similar to theirs. In 1907, Crowley founded the Occult Order, naming it the AA, and devoted most of his time building the order, writing literature, creating periodical for its members. Yeah, so this is what I found about Aleister Crowley. Maybe anyone on the panelists can add more or share. Oops. Yeah. Anything to add to Aleister? Maybe I've not covered.
All right.
Like
So
a general note. Oh, I'm so sorry.
go ahead. Okay. So basically, Aleister Crowley is dealing in Satanism, plain and simple. The things that he is advocating, the things that he's doing, and he's trying to actually achieve the status of being the right-hand man of the beast, or in Islamic terms, we know him as Ad-Dajjal. So that is why he's always advocating the beast, and the number 666. Of course, we know that is from the Bible. There is also, most of the people do not know, is another number, which is 616. So if your friend is coming and you say that he is so and so, I pray that he will enlighten us more on 616. But for fun facts, so that the viewers who are watching are not bored, the latest one to advocate the number 616 would be Marvel. And the main universe that we are in, they say that ours, The main one is Universe 616.
Oh,
Subhanallah.
so I didn't know that. Wow, you draw the connection there. 616. So we need to look into 616. Is it? What is 616? Yeah, 616 is not yet 666, so it's like maybe 5 years more. I don't know, become 666 or 50 years down the road 666. I don't know, but whatever the case is, these are quite considerable points to look at in the connection. All right, now maybe let's go into look at this goat guy. Satanism is a modern, largely non-theistic religion. Okay, this is for people who are like, basic intro to Satanism. Based on literary, artistic, and philosophical interpretations of the central figure of evil, the devil. It wasn't until the 1960s that an official satanic church was formed by Anton LaVey. Historically, Satanism, also called devil worship, consists of the belief in and the worship of Judeo-Christian devil and explicitly rejection of his antithesis, which is God, and in Christianity would be Jesus. It was traditionally based on the Black Mass, a corrupted rendition of the Christian Eucharist, and ritual magic evocations of Satan. Some more recent forms of spiritual or theistic Satanism recognize Satan as an independent, non-Judeo-Christian deity. Other modern satanic movements include the US-based Church of Satan, founded in 1966, celebrate Satan not as a god, but as a symbol of supposedly anti-Christian moral values or as a pre-Christian life principle. Okay. Before we go to Anton LaVey, anyone want to add to what was just said?
Commenting on the previous slide, the one about the man's wife was a Rose who was meditating and then received revelation from, you said, like some
God
voice.
Horus?
Yeah. So I find this so interesting because, like, in the modern age, we find a lot of people that they say they're spiritual because people don't like to say the word religion, because nowadays in some parts of the world, it's almost taboo to say, I believe in God. It's like, why do you believe in God? Like, we have science and we have, like, modern ideas. So why are you, like, stuck on the past? Just why can't you just be spiritual instead? And many people say that they're spiritual, and there's nothing wrong with being spiritual and, like, maybe having that agnostic phase. But the thing is, when someone is spiritual, you never really know, like, what spirit you're following, and because of that, like, there's, like, the error of perhaps, like, even, like, meditating, which can be something that can be ingrained within Islam and is popular within, like, Buddhist traditions, like meditating, sitting down, and then just thinking. But however, like, here in the paragraph it says, like, she was meditating but received, like, this type of, like, kind of like almost like demonic energy enter into her, because perhaps that she was, like, meditating towards the wrong thing. And I think it's, like, that's really, really interesting how we have different forms of spirituality. One is towards, like, Allah, and one is towards Shaitan, but maybe in small increments, right? Maybe in small, tiny increments that they don't really notice it's from, like, Shaitan, but it actually might be. That's just my speculation. That's just my 2 cents.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts, sister. Yeah, I think, talking about Horus, right? This Horus character is also not only visible in his theory, right? The Horus god is also in Egypt that appeared, and you can also see it in Christianity. Yeah, strangely. Why did I say that? Let me show you why quickly. Have you seen this?
Understand the truth of this reality that we experience as life, and the tasks that are given for us to be fulfilled in order to pass this test. Well, the point is that this guidance has always been sent by Almighty Creator for every generation and every nation throughout the history, from the time of the very first human being till now. But that's not all. Because if you have done a little research, you would have known that there is an evil force which tries to destroy mankind and divert them from the straight path of success. And that's why you should keep in mind that this evil force first and foremost tries to make a false picture of the truth that comes from God. For that he uses 2 tricks. First, making false religions, and second, manipulation of the divine religions. The invention of false religions and manipulation of the divine religions were always aimed for three purposes. First, to divert people from worshipping the true God and to make a false picture of the reality. This is the most important goal of Iblis, to make people believe in anything other than the real God. But mostly he wants people to worship three things: jinn, fire, and sun, which is again fire. And as you know, jinn are made of fire. And if you remember the story of Iblis, he challenged and wants to prove that jinn are superior to mankind. That's why he makes them worship jinn. Second, to use the religions for gaining power and ruling over the society. From the very past, religions were the most powerful tool for kingdoms to rule over the nations. Third, to delude people and earn vows and gifts from them in order to fulfill their own desires. So as mentioned before, the true guidance was always sent down by the Creator to people from time to time, and people kept changing the revelations exactly for the same three reasons. But every time that people changed the revelation, God sent them an updated version so that the true message of monotheism remains for guidance of people. The ruling authorities and social geographical issues were the main reasons. When the people were being invited to Christianity, the first rejection came from Jewish people by denying Isa alayhi salam as the true messenger of God. Within 200 years after it began, Christianity abandoned many of the teachings of Isa alayhi salam. Influenced by Greek and Roman paganism, Zoroastrianism, and beliefs that go back as far as the time of Nimrod, Christianity turned away from most of its Hebraic foundation. Christmas and other holidays like Easter and Halloween were adopted in favor of original Hebraic days of worship. It was honored. But the rabbit hole goes much deeper, and the church doesn't want you to know the truth.
And you start to see changes going on from the early part of the Christian era in Southern Europe.
We will
where the
not watch the
major
full thing
ceremonies
because it
held
will
by-
take a while. But I was trying to find this Horus thing, which is here, I think. Here. You guys can watch Rational Believer. I'm actually subscribed to Rational Believer because I wanted to watch all their content, which was quite interesting.
Pretty much subscribe to all of them as well. Even though they get Abu Layth actually does a lot of narrative. I'm a little hesitant.
Yep, agree. Except Abu Layth, don't listen to him.
Pretty much everybody. I hold him with a lot of grains of salt. With a lot of grains of salt.
Obelisks are monuments which were made in honor of sun god Ra, as gratification for his protection, victories given to pharaohs and asking for favors. They look like Egyptian pyramids and symbolize the sun rays descending on earth.
Okay, Horus. I think here's Horus.
Hinduism believe in Trinity. Tribes of North believed in triad of the origin.
Horus.
In fact, Ankh was used as a symbol of resurrection at the time of pharaohs, same as cross, which is known as the symbol of resurrection for Christian.
Yep.
Oh, okay, never mind. You watch the video, guys, since it's quite long. And it was like, whoa, I saw the Horus and everything. All the symbols came out at the same time. So I was like, wow, seriously, this is quite quite an eye opener for me myself. Yeah. Anything to add to what you just saw? Maybe the last 5 minutes. Okay, never mind. Don't have. We shall go to Anton LaVey.
Okay, I'll just add
Okay.
while you prepare. So most of the Muslims or the general Muslims would be wondering, like, why should we even delve ourselves into such information now?
Because
I don't have to say based on my own accord. I'll just let the Quran speak itself. You ask yourself, why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after Surah Al-Fatiha immediately talks about magic, about how Harut and Marut, the two angels that were sent from Almighty God in Surah Al-Baqarah. I believe it's chapter 2, verse 102. So you ask yourself, why is the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately after Surah Al-Fatiha introduces you to the realm of magic so that you can understand, know your friends and know your enemies, or have your enemies closer to you so that you would know them. You know how to evade from them, how you protect yourself from them. Subhanallah. So this is one of the main reasons why you should know them so that you can protect yourselves, you can protect your family. Subhanallah. It would be in vain. It would be in vain if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just put about magic, about occultism after Surah Al-Fatiha, immediately in chapter 2, so that you can arm yourself, prepare yourselves. And no one can deny the fact that we are already living in end of times. There is not a single living Muslim country, nor a single country where there is oppression or war being done by the so-called countries that proposes for democracy, freedom, and so forth. Subhanallah, subhanallah. So it is time to wake up. Once you know this, then you are better prepared. You know what you should save your family and children from, not to allow them to watch these cartoons. Even cartoons have been infiltrated. So subhanallah, keep watching and we'll enlighten you more.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of red pills going around, but you need to look at this for a long time since, I looked at this from Sec 2, 14 years old. I was like, oh, let's look at this, what it's about. And, until today, it's still ever growing. The thing is constantly growing in many forms. Yeah. Okay, anyway, Anton LaVey. Okay, all these names, you can go and do your own research yourself. We can't put everything down in 1 hour and in the PowerPoint slide. I tell you, I won't be able to do this in in 1 hour too. Yeah. He's American musician and Satanist musician. I highlighted these things so that you can take note of the keywords because they are mentioned in the Quran, music, and this and that. So just take note of these things when I highlight. Sometimes they mean things as well. He is founder of Church of Satan and Religion of Satanism. He authored several books, including the Satanic Bible, Satanic Rituals, and the Satanic Witch, the Devil's Notebook, and Satan Speaks. Okay. Actually, when I was in Polytechnic, I know a friend who is a Satanist and he's Singaporean. But he's not openly Satanist. But he actually showed me the Satanic Bible. And it's the Lord's Prayer written in another way. Yeah. The Lord's Prayer in Christian, the Lord's Prayer, right? Yeah, they wrote it differently. So I didn't really read it. I was a Christian back then, so I avoided that. Well, coming to the Black Mass, you can go and read on the Black Mass if you want. But why is it so interesting is just a glimpse of what it does is, it's in the Roman Catholic Church. It's not practiced in the Roman Catholic Church, but I'm trying to say that Black Mass is, signifying the Satanists doing a ritual like the church, and they call it the Black Mass. People will wear in black, and it's more commonly used to be blaspheming against Christianity in that sense. So we'll skip the video here. But basically, you can go and Google Black Mass. People will wear black hood. They'll sit in a circle, and they'll draw the pentagram, and they will have sometimes sacrifices and rituals and so on and so forth. So viewers' discretion advised. Yeah. Next, let's go on. Oh, sorry. Why every time when I press play, it goes this way? Hang on. Let me exit from... Oops. Somebody wants you to see something.
Bismillah.
Okay, now coming to this one. Hang on, share. This guy, Baphomet. Okay, this is a very prominent figure in Satanism. So Baphomet is a pagan deity revived in the 19th century as a figure of occultism and Satanism. So I see I put both together since they are like kind of side and side. The name dates back to the Inquisition and torture of the Knights Templar about 1100 ago, who, according to French chronicles of the Crusades, confessed to worshipping a heathen idol called Baphomet. Some scholars believe Baphomet was simply a corruption of Mahomet, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best known modern image of Baphomet was drawn in 1856 by French occultist Eliphas Levi in his book Transcendental Magic, Its Doctrine and Ritual. He envisaged a winged hermaphrodite with a torch between its horns and a pentagram on its forehead.
And it's
androgynous. Sorry?
It's androgynous too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like in between men and women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And its arms. Sorry?
That's their desired outcome. That's what they're pushing for.
Yeah. And now currently at the moment as well.
You should see our kindergarten schools and middle schools here in America. It would blow your mind.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's moving now down to south in Asia already. The movement is going down south. Okay. Yeah. Its arms bore the Latin word solve, separate, and coagula, joined together. The powers of binding and loosing, usurping from God. Levi's drawing was the inspiration of the Satanic Temple's new monument. It contains all these binary opposites, above and below, part animal, part human, male and female, says Grievous. It embodies opposites and celebrates contrast. 2 fingers on the right hand point up and 2 on the left point down, meaning as above, so below. I think you watched this movie as well. As above, so below, in like France. These words and the accompanying gestures are familiar to occultists. They are drawn from the ancient works of Hermes Trismegistus, I think, whose writings became popular during the Renaissance and Reformation. Okay. Yes. Anything to add before I go on to fast forwarding through these 2 videos?
So Hermes, go ahead.
Sorry?
I think there's a point where you can really relate this to our world today. Because I know this stuff, but I really don't want to know the biography of these guys. I don't want to know so much, It's about how does it relate to us, in terms of, like, I like what Ustad Muhammad said, to protect ourselves, you know what I mean? That's how it's relevant. I actually came to Islam through this world, It wasn't the akhlaq or the adab of the Muslims that led me to Islam. It was seeing the shaitans out there and the handiwork. And I'm like, this is messed up. And then I came to Islam, you know. But at the same time, I just want to stress that we don't want to get too fascinated with this stuff, because this is not something to be fascinated with, but just to inform ourselves so we know what to block ourselves from, so we don't end up like a goat man with the boobs and whatnot, because that's what they're pushing onto the kids now, you know. And that's where it really relates to our reality now, because you might think that it's all they call it, it's all love, you know, LGBT, all love and all. And you might just go along with the flow. You might just go along with the flow, follow the footstep of shaitan. If you don't know what his footstep is, then you don't know. The alarm bells won't be ringing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the benefit of looking at this stuff. Not that we're paying tribute to these guys, but know your enemy, you know, so you can protect your kids. I just want to really stress on this. Yeah, we are not paying tribute. I just want
thanks for adding that in, brother. Yeah, most importantly, you know, don't get too dive yourself too deep into this. Time is also your life you're wasting away, so don't waste your life on things that, you know, can bring you to faraway places. More importantly, spend it on the Quran, spend it on your religious life, spend it on your family, spend it on your loved ones, spend it on your work and everything, you know. But this is just so you know, so you're awakened, so you're not asleep. Yeah, you know, you need to take sometimes a bit of bitter medicine, so you can like
videos and commercials directly targeting Muslims. Inside of a lot of the lodges, they have a little short commercial, and it's called "When You Recognize People at the Masjid from Your Lodge." There's a lot of, so kind of to piggyback what he was just saying, that it's important to know these people, what they're about, and actually their theology and the way that they're structured, because you'll see the early warning signs of these people inside your own masjids, church, synagogues. They do have a desired outcome when they're showing up to our places. They have an agenda. They will push that agenda, and they don't see anything that we do as sacred. So why would we not learn what they're doing? They're doing this to our children. They're indoctrinating everybody into this stuff. It's being pushed down everybody's throats. So it's very important to know where they're getting their source knowledge from as well.
Yeah, exactly right, Brother Idris. And it doesn't mean you learn something, you get influenced by it as well, right? You can have, you know, self-control.
But they seem to do the Muslims better than the Muslims themselves, you know. They really study the religion.
They have to study our religion. Then they know how to find where to attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sister Ruisi, you look like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, like I'm just like listening to all these points, and I find it's absolutely really interesting. Like both points are correct, right? Like we should never glamorize such a practice, but also at the same time, we must kind of like learn what is very, very wrong. Like, you know, there's a lot of gray area, but as long as we know what black is, then we know what white is, right? In terms of gray area, so we know the extreme like wrong. And like another point, for example, that guy Anton LaVey, he's like the founder of his own type of like ideology called LaVeyan Satanism, and like I remember watching a few videos about it before Islam when I was kind of like curious about the occult stuff, because it was really trendy. And in 2021, these things are kind of marketed towards young adults. Wait, by the way, is there like a lot of wind in the microphone because I'm outside?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, good. These things are kind of marketed as young adults as not really something literally Satanism, because even if you see interviews of these like teenagers with their hair dyed purple and everything, and they're wearing like a band T-shirt in black, and they say like they love listening to heavy metal and rock, and they wear these like, you know, thick boots and everything, and they walk around with piercings, and they say that they don't even believe in Satan, but they just like the idea of a rebel. They just like the idea of someone going against the tradition because they find it's cool and like unique, and that they can really express themselves this way. Like, oh, I don't have to listen to the church, I don't have to listen to parents, I don't have to listen to any of the authorities, I can just be my own person. And we can see this like even on a macro scale within like civilizations when such revolutions happen, right? For example, think about like I don't want to get too political, but anyways, like on a micro scale, on an intrapersonal level, there's this desire to kind of go against the grain. And for some people, that means like, oh, I'm going my own way. I'm gonna like dye my hair. I'm gonna get piercings and stuff, and I'm gonna listen to heavy metal, and I'm gonna say rock on Satan because that's cool. And in their culture, it's promoted as something just trendy. And like, yeah, it's just really crazy how like nobody, even Satanists, these like teenagers often young adults who call themselves like Satanists, don't even believe in Satan. They don't even pray to Satan. They don't even do anything that's actually, all they're doing is partaking in things like heavy metal, like going to these rock concerts, and then just partaking in hedonism, meaning like, I get what I want what I want, therefore I should get it. No one should tell me what to do. I want to go shoplift, I'm going to go shoplift. Like, I see something I like, I'm going to go get it. And this type of like mindset is what they're really after, and not even like Satan himself, if that makes sense. But by doing this type of hedonism and this type of self-indulgence, they are still nonetheless on the path of Satan. So I found that very interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, that's the core belief of Aleister Crowley as well. He says that, you are the law yourself. You do what you want. There's no law that's going to stop you. You are the God yourself. He made you a God. He made you believe you're a God and do what you want. That's his theory behind his Satanism. And today you see people say, I don't have a God. I'm an atheist. Astaghfirullahalazim. I can do this. I can do that. Where's the existence of God and stuff? These ideas are all been nurtured over time, and you think you're a God. That's why you think that God don't exist. But let me tell you something: the devil believes in God. Yeah, you don't believe in God, but he believes in God. Yeah. All right. So let's have a look at some of this, symbolism and videos that show such practices. Okay, let me go straight to it. Here.
It's all around you. It dominates your nightmares. He is the darkest emotion of all. His path leads to the dark side. Get ready, for he is here. This is my domain. Welcome to Climax. Dance dares you to meet your inner demons.
Your inner demons. Wow.
Travis Scott concert?
Sorry?
Travis Scott concert?
Yeah.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Yeah, it's just out there.
Like 6 or 7 people killed in Texas. The festival, but it was actually a satanic ritual.
Long before the existence of mankind, a greater power ruled the earth. He can't be touched. He can't be heard. One can only feel his presence. Let us introduce someone that hides in the Master's shadow.
Hides, shadows.
Someone that has given up life as freedom for something way more powerful. Tonight, He is our master of ceremony. And he has been given the name of Ruthian.
Tonight I've been chosen to stand in my master's shadow. And I've been given the task to select a demon and exclude the angels. Let my voice guide you.
The first demon to perform on the altar of the dark side is a ghost who has haunted the dance floors for many years. Our Lord of Darkness demanded that he open this mythical gathering to show you his special skills that weaken the mind in the first stages of Path's descent.
Oh, okay. So next, hang on. Is it from this? Okay, this one is something more mainstream. It's in the news. The longest Swiss tunnel dug across the Alps, and took 17 years to build this tunnel. And this is the opening ceremony of that tunnel. I just want you to take note of the ritual for the opening ceremony. Okay, maybe this part is just common. Let me fast forward a bit.
Zombies.
Oh, zombies, yeah.
Whole thing is a circus.
Hang on. Oops. Sorry. I went too fast. Hang on a minute.
Can you even just say it's artistic anymore? You know?
What do you mean?
You
Artistic?
can't give this stuff the benefit of the doubt anymore. It's just too ridiculous.
Oh.
If it was subtle, I might say, hey, they're just being artistic. Oh, come on. But then again, this is why it's good for us to know this stuff, so it becomes clearer, you know?
Yeah.
Don't
what
yourself.
they're doing becomes so much clearer.
Okay, come on. Coming up. One moment. Okay, you can see this right now. I think I won't expand the screen because it always messes up my forward. Or maybe I should do this. Yeah, I'll share it straight here. Hang on a moment. Chrome. Yep, better? Yeah, we can see it now. Yeah, I don't know what these little creatures are, but they mean something to the whole ritual. But you know, the thing is, this is actually, I don't even know if this is Swiss culture, but it's just out there.
It's Satan's culture.
Public display of the ceremony, and you see the guy, the Baphomet here, the goat man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you have not just engineers or experts here. You have politicians here as well, high-ranking people who are like watching the whole ceremony to the opening of this. But apparently there are some reports saying that there were people who died while building this tunnel.
Or being killed.
No, or being killed, is it? I don't know.
Or being sacrificed.
Oh, that we won't know. Could be. Okay. So let me see. Where's the other one? Yeah, this one. Go to the keeper. Okay, these three ladies floating it's the symbolism, you know. I don't know if anybody know the symbolism behind this, but I heard someone say it is before. Maybe when you do more research on it, then you find out.
It's all symbolism with them.
Okay, see the centerpiece is an eye, right? Let me see. See an eye? The back.
Just Sauron.
Okay, I don't understand why they use this Turkish dance as part of the ritual. You know what I mean? Do you see the Turkish spinning of the head and the resting? I see it on tour channels. So it's just like, welcome to Turkey, I think. I don't know. Yeah, okay, then you see this Baphomet come back out again. I don't know why is he always there in the beginning
He's
of the
the
ceremony
VIP.
and at the end. Yeah. I've been to Switzerland once to eat their cheese and fondue, but I've not seen any ceremony. It'll be quite interesting, right? I mean, like, how imagine you open up an MRT line, and then this in Singapore our train is called MRT, and this is the ceremony. You know, it's like kind of weird if I see this.
Wait, this isn't standard what you do every time you open a tunnel?
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a standard thing they do now.
So we gotta keep our eye on the art scene. Don't let it get too crazy.
Freakishly, you see like the multiple eye and the one in the center. Yeah. Okay, so it's not going to end, I guess. The ceremony is quite long.
It's painfully long.
Painfully long, yes. All right. Now
so
back
much
to
creativity.
Huh? Sorry?
So creative.
Yeah, it's
too much
creative,
free
right?
time.
Yeah.
You should be worshipping Allah instead.
The other one is, okay, I want you to have a look at this, see what your thoughts are. Let me see. Do you know the 10 Commandments and the part where the golden calf?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Because now it's adverts.
All right, so while we are waiting for the advert, just take note at the amount of people that are practicing this ceremony, this ritual. Most of the intellectuals, like, doctors, scientists among us who are Muslims and, or of other faith as well, they think that this is a small group. But lo and behold, it is not. They are now everywhere. They are in most of the, medical field, scientific field, engineering field. They are everywhere. If you want to have a glimpse of how widespread they are, maybe you can have a watch at Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Have a glimpse of the medical insignia.
Who is on the Lord's side?
Okay,
Let
this is
him come to me.
the 10 Commandments in 1956. I just want you to take note of the golden calf. The story of Surah Baqarah is, you can see it over here.
Moses! You have cursed us, and the people make me do it.
Joshua!
He showed you no land flowing with milk and honey. I show you a God of gold. Come with me. Follow me. Blasphemers, idolaters, for this you shall drink bitter waters. God has set before you this day his laws of life and good and death and evil. Those who will not live by the law shall die by the law.
It's like movie night tonight, everyone. Just browsing through multiple videos and commenting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then this is today, 2022. Let me get to it. 1 second. Opening up. Okay, remember
Anyone-
1956 movie, right? Now I'm sharing with you is today. What you see happening in plain sight at Birmingham, England. Let me fast forward to the key points. Okay.
Not here, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God,
Who is
and
talking?
made them molten images, even two
This is the
calves.
video. Oh yeah.
It's the video.
Okay, sorry.
It's
Maybe I should.
Well, from South America, yeah. Or no, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any comments?
History repeats itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the movie 1956, when you saw that the golden calf, right? It's not when it happened, it's in the time of Moses. So Moses' time was like hundreds of years ago, centuries ago. And today we still have the golden calf. But no, this is a bronze one. It's a bronze calf, but it's still a calf. All right. We move on. Hang on. Let me go back to the
That's
slide.
really powerful.
Yeah. I'm just trying to show you that history repeats itself. We kind of never
This
learn.
is an awakening process.
I guess, yeah. So who is Satan? Okay, it's a popular image of Satan is a horned, red demonic. Hang on, let me close some of the tabs because it's kind of interrupting. Okay. Pointy tail, sometimes hooves to Christians, sinners that are sent to his domain, hell after death. Hell is described as an underground world dominated by fire and sadistic demons under Satan's command. Satan's first appearance wasn't in Christianity. He began as the Zoroastrian devil figure of Angra Mainyu or Ahriman, which opposes Zoroastrian creator god and tempted humans. Satan is later portrayed in Jewish Kabbalism, which presents himself as a demon who lives in a demonic realm. Okay, anyway, you watch this video. I won't be playing this because I think we're going to be late, and you can figure out why was Satan created. But main thing I would like to add is that how we always depict Satan as a horn figure with hoofs and tail and a red demon, but in Islam we like to emphasize more on the whispering of shaitan. It's invisible, but if you were to listen closely to yourself, sometimes you think it's you thinking through things. You might think that you are thinking with your thoughts, right? Like you're thinking, oh, maybe this guy is talking bad about me. That is just a thought that came to your mind, but it's not your thoughts actually. Have a think about it. When we said use husnuz on, and it's all a good thing when we need to clarify and not assume, right? That's what Islam taught us. And sometimes you hear these voices in your head say, is that guy talking bad about me? Is this person gossiping about me, and so on and so forth? You think you are analyzing the situation with your mind, when sometimes it's not your analyzing that you're doing. Somebody is feeding you information in your head, and that is probably shaitan. So always, I would say, take a wudu and maybe do 2 rakats and calm yourself down. Sometimes we get too ahead of ourselves, thinking that we are in control of our own lives when we are not. Sometimes, so that's one piece of advice about shaitan. He doesn't appear as like you can see. I mean, he can do that if he wants, but he will usually be invisible because that's when you never see it coming. Yeah. Anything to add, guys? Yeah.
This is the thing. This is why we need to learn about this. I mean, just be aware about this, because he's not gonna come dressed up like a Darth Vader suit, whatever. It's not gonna be so obvious. We are all under ideological attack. It's all very subtle. Go with the flow, and it's the same thing. You're just not gonna know unless you know his footsteps. You're able to identify where you're being attacked, like LGBT, all this stuff that is the footsteps, you're able to see.
Okay. Anything else that we're going to secret societies now? Okay, maybe
and it can be scary, this stuff, and I think it's important to point out that it takes courage also to look at this stuff, to look at the darkness. It takes Iman.
Okay. Before we go on, I just want to ask all the panelists, because we have already crossed 1 hour. Are you okay if we continue? Okay. Okay, then we'll continue. Movie night tonight. I mean, Tuesday is a public holiday for us in Singapore. It's National Day for all of us. Monday is tomorrow. I have to go to work, but okay, I just want to watch something before I go to work tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoy so far. Let me pull up these secret societies. Secret societies, in our local context, we usually mean Abeng Asing lah, but not this Abeng Asing we're talking about. Secret societies is not Abeng Asing. In Singapore, we call secret society Abeng Asing. It's like those gangsters on the streets. That's the usual illustrated version of them. But these secret societies are in the shadows and they're hidden. But now they're coming out more obviously. So if you do take note of the symbols and what they're trying to portray, then you can catch them in action. Secret societies has flourished throughout history and count founding fathers and royals among their ranks. Members most often mean they have been tapped into to join the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, the Bavarian Illuminati, Skull and Bones, the Bilderberg. The allure of secret society is part mystery, part legend. Conspiracy theories have surrounded them for centuries, with rumors of groups like the Illuminati being linked to everything from the French Revolution to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Okay, let me see this video then. Pulling up.
He's always trying to break you down, to make you sat.
Oh, am I showing?
To let you in the darkness from the very beginning, when he declared his enmity to mankind. And throughout their history, he caused evil and destruction between every nation.
I love the special effects here.
And today, he became much powerful than any time else.
Take note of the cloaks and, secret society surrounding circles and cloaks. Okay, later you see that again.
The black and white floors.
Yeah. In Islam, when you talk about Dajjal coming, right, we always wonder, like, how is he going to walk the earth and everybody's going to accept him? And now you will know, like, the way was being prepared for him. That's why it's easy for him to just walk.
A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
We begin to see the climax of a major change in society, the climax of a new world order. And we begin to see a type of integration between information technology and trade. We begin to see the economy, politics, culture, and ideology being transported simultaneously from nation to nation. And with this technology, with the ability to transport ideas, the very value systems of people, the way that they eat, what they enjoy to do, how they enjoy recreation, their racial concepts, their culture, their ideology being transported all around the world, a type of globalization. And with this boom in the information technology, and with this major event that takes place, now it comes to a culmination and it starts to reach a high point. And so the innocent people, we look at this and we say, what is going on? What is happening to the world that had so many different varying views, different nations, different ways of approaching things that can complement each other? Now we see politics is stripped of real power, that the economy governs all social exchange. We see that the states serve the financial power structures, that the real power is no longer in the hands of the generals, but the real power now switching to the hands of the people who run the economy, to the banking systems. And then we see that politicians play the role of public relations officers, only to control the masses, either by lulling them to sleep or by terrorizing them. And then we see that the masses of the people become helplessly preoccupied. Their lives are now bombarded with a series of cultural events. And these cultural events start to become the most important things in their lives. The World Cup, the Major League Series, the rugby, the cricket, the hockey, the tennis, whatever the sport may be, we see whole nations coming behind sports, and the national heroes become sporting people. Even in Saudi Arabia, even in our own Muslim countries, the national heroes are now the soccer players. Who kicks the little ball inside of a net? He becomes the hero of the nation when people are dying on the ground. But yet we become preoccupied with this. And it becomes a type of indoctrination happening to us. And with the use of powerful music playing on our emotions, with videos now being taken to the furthest extremes in the planet, people's thinking processes are changing. People are now in love with the superheroes, even confused about their own identity, trying to change themselves, change the color of their hair, change their eyes, change the way they dress, change the way they talk on a global level. And then we see drug addiction reaching a point that humanity has never seen before. And after traveling to over 36 countries, looking at the Muslims and being with them, I have found that in all of the communities that the young people are being confused with drugs. It is pouring into our countries. No matter what form it takes, cocaine, LSD, psychedelic, depressants, put you up, put you down, confuse you, but create a false world and give you a false dependence so that you become dependent on the chemical. You forget about Allah. Your God becomes the pusher. Your God becomes the chemical. And so creating this dependency amongst the masses of the people.
Oh, I didn't know there's the plane with that word kafir.
This is a dollar bill, which is the now devalued dollar bill. And on the back of the dollar bill, there's a seal on this side. It's called the Great Seal of the United States. That's what it's called. It's their seal. Now, behind the seal, this is actually what is behind the Great Seal of the United States, is a pyramid with one eye. Now, the one eye is the sun god, Re, which is where we get the word ray, sun rays. It is the sun god, same Mithraic character, and he shows up again and again. This is the Masonic god of the ray.
13 5-pointed stars, and when you draw lines between them, you'll draw a 6-pointed star.
If the hexagonal star is lifted out and placed over the image of the pyramid, its points indicate specific letters in the Latin inscription surrounding it, which are thought to be an anagram.
Inside the American dictionary is the word anagram, which is the intentional scrambling of the letters of a word to conceal the real word. So if you re-scramble, you get Masons. This is how we know that the Masons originated the drawings for the Great Seal of the United States.
This search for concealed meanings in the iconography is not confined to the imagery alone. It is claimed that the number 13, the most ominous number in Western tradition, is hidden throughout the symbols on the $1 bill. They point out the repetition of the symbolic number 13. There are 13 leaves on the olive branch in the eagle's right claw, 13 arrows in the left claw, 13 stars above the eagle's head, and 13 bars and stripes on the shield.
Count the feathers. You'll notice that there are 32 feathers on the bird's left wing and 33 on his right wing.
This is understood to refer to the 33 degrees of masonry introduced by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, America's most prominent Masonic order, whose national HQ is in Washington.
If you look, you'll see the pyramid is built except for the top. It's built except for the top. The eye is suspended above the top. It hasn't come down yet. Because they believe until they finished the Masonic project, which is the what they say on the bottom, Novus Ordo Seclorum, and then Untitled Chapters, he is pleased with our project. In other words, the God they believe in is pleased with our project. What is the project? This is the question. What is the project that this God is pleased with? The project is literally the secularization of the world. To completely strip the world from religious beliefs. This is the project, and that is why it is called Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new secular or worldly order.
Okay. Yeah. That's the end of the video. What do you guys think about that?
As an American, I feel bad that I'm exporting this into all you guys' countries. My apologies.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, they want us to be scared. I just want to add on to that thing I was saying earlier. It takes courage because it's scary, right? I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, even these videos, an Islamic channel is putting all these kind of spooky vibes and all that. It can get scared, you know, and you're like, oh, are they going to get me? But the one who fears Allah doesn't fear anything. He doesn't even fear death because he knows what's going to happen after his death. Even if they get you, you know what's going to happen to you. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. You're done, you know? But these guys are even afraid of their own shadow. The one who doesn't fear Allah is afraid of his own shadow. So I just want to say this. You know, you don't need to be frightened of all this. Just find out enough so you know the games they're playing on us, the indoctrination. You know, we really need to unindoctrinate ourselves. You know, there's really a lot. It's really a process. You know, the first time you're exposed to this kind of stuff, you're like, Is this real? You know?
Yeah. The other next one is you see this video, Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Yeah. They are entering this part of the film. Basically, is when he's discovering what is his friend going to these secret parties at night of certain like high class people, and they can't take off the mask. And when he enters, he actually was quite surprised to see the ritual that was behind this. Well, this is the censored version, I might add, because the uncensored one has adult content, so you won't see it on the sharing tonight. So what's surrounding the guy in red are ladies dressed in black, and they have masks on. You see, this is like a sujud. They are bowing before Satan. The guy is a representative of Satan in this part of the ritual. You notice the thing that he's swinging, incense. It's actually done in Catholic churches. I mean, I've been to church and I see that to basically make the room, have the scent of frankincense. I'm not sure what they're using here, whether it's frankincense or not, but it's pretty much the same way they try to scent up this place. Fun fact, they are repeating the Gregorian chant in opposite way, and it sounds like that. So they took a Gregorian chant, they play it backwards. You're actually listening to a Gregorian chant backwards in this film. Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the examples of the kind of ritual. Yeah. Oh, there's apparently one of the comments from the audience is that this movie wasn't the final cut. Allegedly, there were many scenes that got taken out of the finished product. This already exposes much about this cultist, and it gets worse in Psychopath. Commented by Chomel Awari. Yeah. So yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. You can watch this if you are of age enough. On the internet, I think these days it doesn't matter. You can literally see anything on the internet. Yeah, just be discerning. Yeah, don't just watch and take everything as factual. But they do have a lot of correlation to a lot of symbolism and autism. Yeah. Pretty much this is the video that I'm sharing for this part. Okay, hang on. Let me return back. Yeah, anything to add, guys? In case I missed you guys for not sharing your parts. Okay, yeah. You already seen the Freemasons, right? Which the Freemasons.
All right. So since you're still moving on, I'll just comment on the clothing. Remember, in Islam, it is forbidden for anyone to wear fully red clothes from top till bottom. Fully red, this is forbidden, and it is one of the criteria required for you to do black magic.
Oh,
So
really?
take note. So if you're going for Eid, you tend to sometimes wear red, and then they have the matching outfit. So try to avoid red. If you are wearing red, as long as you are wearing bottom of a different color, or there is a color that that divides it, it's not fully red, then inshallah it is permitted.
Okay, understood. Avoid fully red unless Singapore National Day red and white can.
Chinese New Year, as long as with red and gold, can.
Oh, okay, not full red lah. You know what? The funny thing is not say funny thing, but you know, even in Asia here, when you want to haunt someone, right? The Chinese believe that if you dress in red, full red, and you commit suicide, you can haunt the person. You can come back and haunt the person because you are fully dressed in red. That's one of the criteria. You must be fully dressed in red and commit suicide in red.
So you see how they twist the story. It is one of the rituals for black magic, but then giving it advantage so that you can haunt, you can come back to Earth. So you see, these are the lies made by the Antichrist, Dajjal, and their followers of or Satanists.
Okay. Next, other secret societies like Skulls and Bones. Too much to share, guys. You can just research on them. But Illuminati is like quite famous, right? You see it even in Marvel. They talk about Illuminati, right? Adam, I can't pronounce this. Weishaupt, Bavarian professor of canon law, started the radical Illuminati secret society in Europe. I don't even know whether it's really him. I mean, this is what they get online, but it might be someone else. In 1776, when he was 28 years old, he's an anti-clerical and anti-royal, and Illuminati aimed to infiltrate and upset powerful institutions. They created a plan for the global subversion of the church, state, royalty, and society. He aimed to abolish all religions and obliterate every government so mankind could live happily in a world of equality. He foresaw the economy operating under a communism of goods, structure overseen by an enlightened, illuminated elite over which he presided. I mean, how how the words are beautifully written. It's still the idea that the one God above all, right? The kind of Dajjal, the eye that is above all to control everything at the end of the day. Well, you can go and look at Bohemian Grove. This one is a live ritual that happened in the US a long time ago. Okay, some say a guy was cremated live here. And you take note of this owl. Okay, it's the owl of Minerva. In Bohemian Grove, you will see the owl. Brother in the US can maybe give us some info on this. Brother Idris, what do you think? I mean, is this true?
I'm just kind of curious, what's it like for you guys? I know that in Canada, so where the sister's at, she's got lots of lodges where she's at. In my area, every single city, whether there's 10 people there or 1,000 people there, we have masonry lodges. I'm curious, is that the same thing for you guys in your countries?
We have one Mason lodge here. I know.
Crazy, man.
I only know one here.
You have them in we have them in every single city, whether they're small or big, here in America. Every single city.
We're tiny. We're like a city.
Yeah.
That's why we only need one. Probably smaller than your smallest city, you know.
Yeah, so it's very common over here. It wasn't that common 20 years ago. People weren't really too hip on it. But these days, you go into any Barnes and Noble, and the magic section is it's so large. I'd say at least a fifth of the bookstores now are magic books.
Wow, magic books, cool. Sister Ruisi?
Another thing I'd like to add is like nowadays, like it's really, really trendy. Everything that has to do with the occult, and a lot of it is just kind of like for the aesthetic, right? Because for example, if you think about crystals, there's this belief that some say that crystals have healing powers, but it has already been like debunked because they've already proven like here's a rose quartz and here's like a piece of glass that looks like a rose quartz, and they let someone blindfolded like hold like the piece of, they say like which one is like has like better energy, and like it like they never knew, because like the truth with these rocks have healing powers or crystals have healing powers. This type of idea is more like it has to do with the occult, but obviously it's kind of based on the placebo effect, meaning like, you kind of believe it works, so therefore it works by holding the rock. But like nowadays I walk into like any gift shop. Last week I went with my 12-year-old sister. We were walking around this like small market area in Toronto, and one of them was a gift shop, and a lot of the stuff that they were selling are things that are occult-ish, right? But it was just a gift shop. They had pens and stuff, and then they had these like bracelets that had like these charms things, like protective charms, like you wear this to protect yourself. And I think like most of them, they're just everything along with like, you know, what is like marketable, right? Because you know those aisles in the stores where you can buy, let's say, a keychain with your name on it, and if you can't find your name on it, there's at least like the letter of your name, right? Or it's like an A or B or something. It's a little keychain you can get from the airport or something like that. And these are like marketable stuff, right? So these like keychains or these bracelets, these like made out of like crystal, rose quartz, or amethyst or something. They say amethyst can make you feel like this, rose quartz can attract this type of energy and whatnot. Are all just like marketability, you know? And I think at the end of the day, it just boils down to just like feeling like part of something, and then they feel like it's, I don't know. I just feel like, and nowadays I feel like another thing is that they take kind of like other traditions and they kind of do this cultural appropriation to create something that's like easily sellable. An example we know is like, I'm not sure if you guys seen, but I've seen this like post where a prayer mat is marketed on something like AliExpress or just like a popular online purchasing page as like a decoration, you know, just like it's like a front doorstep kind of thing, or the bathroom like doormat kind of thing. There's also, for example, like, you know, for example, sage, and there is like a type of sage, type of like, you know, the ones that are wrapped in twine, the types that you burn inside the house for like better smell. Originally, it came from some native cultures, right? But these like small gift shops, they just like take these like rare, like, I don't know if it was white sage, but it's one of those endangered plants, right? And they wrap it up and they just like sell it because it's like, oh, it's like boho, it's like boho chic, it's like what's the word? It's like, is it called bohemian or like kind of indie, kind of like, you know, so they think it's like a cool vibe to just like burn around the house, but it's just taken from another culture and then making it their own kind of thing. It's kind of like how like I walked into another shop and inside there was so many things to do with occult. It was called like Orbital Arts. I think that was the name of the store in Toronto. But it had all these different symbols. It had like it had the Christian like Virgin Mary figure, but like in giant form, like inside. So I thought, oh, it was a Christian store. It was like a huge statue, and it wasn't even that big of a store, but it was like a very big statue of a. And then right beside there was like Hindu figures. There was like the I think it was like the elephant with a nose, and it was like all these idols like all put together. And I was thinking like, wow, like they literally like appropriated, and the person running the store was a bunch of like white people, right? Like I don't mean to say that in any way to be racist against white people. That's not what I mean to say. I'm sorry if that sounded wrong, but they are people who are like, you know, kind of like steal from other cultures and make their own hodgepodge or DIY religion or their own mishmash of like culture. And then you can clearly see that these people are not Hindu, these people are not Buddhist, but they got a bunch of like Buddhist figures because they think it's part of this like you know, aesthetic or this type of pura vida, relaxing, like life is easy, YOLO type of lifestyle, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but that's just what I've noticed like around, like it's becoming more of a trend than to be actually to, you know, yeah, that's kind of what I noticed.
Thanks for sharing.
This stuff is pervasive by design. You know, even in Islam, we have the Turkish, what is that? The eye. You guys seen it? The eye that's supposed to protect you. They even got an emoji that's going around everywhere. Infiltrated Islam, right? If we think that Islam is not infiltrated,
oh, it is.
Please, you know, you need this. Yeah, that's the thing. You see, a lot of Muslims are like, I just need to, you know, read the Quran on my free time and do my fasting in Ramadan and I'm good. No, you're not. You're not. You know, we're not safe. Not by a long shot.
Okay.
It's pervasive, this stuff. It's part of our lives without even realizing it, you know, in many ways.
They've stolen most of the imagery from all the religions. I mean, even the crescent moon that you see on top of all of our mosques and stuff like that, that's not from our religion. And
that bothers me all the time.
Yes, same. And there is there's only one religion that I haven't seen them steal from, and which is, I find it very impressive, and it's one of the few symbols that I actually still care about, which is the symbol from Zoroastrianism. They haven't taken that one yet. I think enough people kind of know that that has nothing to do with them. So But outside of that, they've taken every single symbol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess they kind of make it marketable and fun in many ways, try to make it customized, but it's still sing the same tune. If you're a monotheist, you know that they sing the same tune at least. Yeah. How they mix and match stuff. Well, anyway, so many of the Illuminati watchers in America believe that the Eye of Providence, the one that's above in this picture, the eye in a triangle found on the back of the US dollar bill, is an Illuminati symbol linking the European sect to the highest echelons of US government and corridors of power. In fact, the all-knowing eye was originally a symbol of Christianity found in the religious art of Renaissance period to represent God, such as Pontormo's supper at Emmaus. The eye also appears as a symbol on some earlier editions of the Douay-Rheims Bible, same Bible President Biden carried on Inauguration Day. Oh, is that true? I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Illuminati are planning to topple the world's government, installing President Biden, Lady Gaga, Eminem, and other rappers as the new overlords. Sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence. Okay, this is according to what I found out, but maybe it's not just a coincidence. I don't know. We leave the viewers to think on their own. Well, what do you think? I mean, honestly, the triangle and the eye thing, I've seen it before in my church.
Yeah, architecture is another thing we gotta pay attention to. They are obsessed with this stuff. If you see obelisk, it's another one. It's another one of their symbols. It's the phallus of the devil. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, last time when I saw it, I just thought it's just God, as a symbol to represent God the Father. Because of the triune God, the Trinity concept. Previously, when I was a Christian, that was what I used to think. Yeah, but now when I look deeper and stuff, yeah, things are a lot different from what I think they are. Okay, then next is the Bilderberg. I have no clue much about them, but you can Google them up too. There are more than there are many secret societies out there. Of course, we're just only highlighting a few because they are commonly spoken in society. Okay, and you can see over here, media is one of those.
This is so powerful. This is such a powerful image.
Yeah, many of celebrities are also kind of like trying to do the same thing. Oh, this you can find on Lady Gaga's music video.
Yes, the video is pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. One moment. Let me share.
I ironically use that music video to prove this stuff.
Just 2 weeks.
Yeah. Ironic, right?
Eucerin Booster Serum, the revolutionary treatment to diminish years of deep dark
It's
spots.
so blatant in the music industry. It's one of the biggest things that convinced me.
You won't hear the song, but
even the lyrics in this song, she actually explains to you what happens in this.
Oh, the lyrics as well, right? If you read the lyrics. I mean, you just look at the symbolism there. You see the cat. You see the tattoo on the eye, the one eye that is specifically tattooed like the Egyptian.
Resting
symbol.
on the left eye, resting on the left hand.
Blue jeans. Jeans are blue.
The entire song is just about magic and selling your soul to the devil. That's the actual lyrics.
Oh, okay. We don't hear it now. Yeah, I kind of muted it.
Baby, do you dare to do this?
Okay, never mind. You can listen to the lyrics yourself. But just look at the visuals alone.
Yeah, that's disturbing enough.
People know what the pyramid was. Yeah, it's everything in this is really, really bad as far as the imagery. They know what they're doing in this.
Yeah, they're borrowing from the occult to show it on TV, right? Or they have been always doing this all the time. Just that now it's more obvious.
As long as they can control the masses and tell them that this is cool, they'll keep following it.
Look at the pyramid there.
It's about putting the people in a trance.
Mm-hmm.
And the man dog. The man dog. Right. Yeah. And the other one, let me see. Let me pull up the other one. Okay, I mean the next one is talking about the dangers of music. Yeah, one moment. Sharing. This is a great episode on Rational Believer.
لهو الحديث ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ويتخذها هزوا أولئك لهم عذاب مهين وإذا تتلى عليه آياتنا ولى مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه وقرا فبشره بعذاب أليم.
Everybody likes music. Everybody enjoys music. Everybody enjoys singing and dancing and being cheerful. So why would someone say it's haram? It's very simple. To know the ruling over something, we have to go back to the Quran and Muslim. We are Muslims. We have to go back to the Quran and to the Sunnah. Do we get our religion from out of the Quran and Sunnah? No. If you go to the Sunnah, the most authentic book for Muslims, any Muslim Sunni, you would ask him, he would say Sahih al-Bukhari. This is the most authentic book on earth after the Quran. And in Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ tells us that there will be people of my ummah making haram things halal. And they would make adultery, fornication. They would make silk. They would make consuming intoxicants, khamr. And music instruments halal. Four things. The Prophet ﷺ told us that there will come people who would make these haram things halal. So the Prophet is the one who told us that music is haram. And the evidence behind it is overwhelming.
There is no scholar on earth, Muslim scholar, that allows you to listen to Beyonce and Madonna and Michael Jackson and those. That is completely out because, number one, it's dirty, it's filthy. The lyrics are horrible, terrible. They encourage you to move your body and to shake your thing, as they say. May Allah forgive us, really. You move your body, you are sexually hyped up. So it's a dirty industry. Ask those who are in it. It's filthy. When you hear about music, you hear about how to attract the opposite sex, and it's all about love and all about, your emotions. And so at home, you're not happy. When you go to work, you see someone you're working with and you're busy thinking, ooh, the music fits exactly here. And so on. Things are happening. People are tampering with our minds.
The power that music has on humans' mind has been well documented for thousands of years. Hundreds of scientific studies have proven that music can have a profound effect on human emotions, sensory perceptions, and behavior. In 1839, Heinrich Wilhelm Dove made a fascinating audio discovery when he uncovered this strange phenomenon of binaural beats, which are special frequencies within music that affect how brainwaves behave and consequently our mood. A more recent study in 2012 by psychologist Annette Schirmer uncovered that our perception of the external world can be directly affected by musical rhythm, because our brainwaves become in sync with auditory beats. What's most intriguing about this study is that Schirmer realized that when people move in synchrony, they are more likely to perceive the world in synchrony. This means that our mental process can be altered simply by using music to manipulate brainwave oscillations.
Wow. That's why the Quran came to you as a recital, because we memorize it very easily. And when you listen to music, you tend to forget the Quran because it's like another sound wave coming into your ears to readjust what you were supposed to kind of like practice and listen often. Yeah, I mean, this is my friend who's also in the sound industry who's talking about this attractive
Music
sound
touches
waves.
the limbic system or the emotional system of our brain, which actually, though slower than other parts, can overwhelm all of the other parts. Think about how we lose our mind when we fall in love. And we literally do because of the power of the emotion. That being said, the music system has been very unresponsive even to industry applied ratings. All that they had been willing to do was to put parental advisory on the outside of CDs. They would not print lyrics in a visible place. This is complicated by the fact that the Federal Communication Commission has strict limits on what can be broadcast over the air. And historically, the way popular music has been sold is through airplay. We can't expect a system to be put together that will perfectly protect us. We need to protect ourselves. We need to be aware that these media change us and affect us. And we need to actively understand what they're doing, how they're doing, and make choices of whether we want that to be done to us.
I think nowadays music is probably one of the easiest means to lose your moral sense. Music is audio pornography today. That's what it is. It's explicit, it's shameless, it's vulgar, it takes your sense of humanity away from you. It makes you look at women as objects, worse than animals. And these people are talking about women like they're talking about, an animal, really. And when you constantly, listen to garbage like that, then you get deviated. And you don't find pleasure except in disobedience to Allah. And that's the sign of a sick heart.
Oh, yes. And music is a whole another area that employs these techniques. Popular music, all popular culture, movies, TV, music, they carry messages, and it's not just entertainment. Entertainment is not value free. It has ideological content. It presents a worldview that influences the people who are watching or listening. So we've got this disconnect, thinking that entertainment is harmless when it's the most important delivery system of propaganda, because it influences people without their conscious awareness, and that's the ultimate in controlling people in society, is to do it without them being aware of it.
Now, you can't even listen to the lyrics because they're so disgusting, right? They are so filthy. And Fakhruddin al-Razi, in his commentary, says about the verse in the Quran where shaitan, that you will try to seduce them with your voice, he says by giving them foul lyrics that their children will memorize and repeat. That's in Mafatih al-Ghayb. That was in the 13th century. So what are we doing now? This is the khutuwat of shaitan. He's taken people by degrees. 2.5 hours per day for teenagers in the United States listening to music. 2.5 hours per day. 1 in 3 popular songs now contain explicit references. The number of times an adolescent is exposed to explicit substance references, 35 per hour. They're listening to 2.5 hours a day, 35 per hour, 84 per day, 591 per week, being told about alcohol and drugs in these lyrics. These are the khutuwat of shaitan. 30,700 a year. References to drug or alcohol in songs. Pop, 9%. Rock, 14%. Hip-hop, R&B hip-hop, 20%. Country, 36%. Rap, 77%. And we've got all these kids listening to rap. This is what they worship, these Satanists.
You're back to him again.
If you notice, he's androgynous. So it's a male-female mixture. Also making these signs. You see the signs he's making using this sign because 11 is the devil's number. Because 11 is 1 beside 1. In their numerology, they use 11 a lot. And they like multiples of 11. 11, 22, 33, 66. They like these multiples. In their magic, they know the secrets of numbers. And so they use numbers. The Prophet ﷺ, when they used magic on him, they blew on 11 knots. 11 uqda. And this is why the Mu'awwidhatayn has 11 ayahs, because it protects against their magic. So this is real stuff, people. I'm not making this up. This is real stuff. You can see Madonna imitating here Baphomet, right? Because she's one of them, and she's a numerologist. She is a numerologist. She practices numerology. Lady Gaga's got tens of millions of followers. So the devil has plenty of followers on Twitter. Now this man over here, LaVey, started the Church of Satan. He wrote a satanic Bible, and he explained that that symbol that they're all doing, that symbol, he said, was a curse symbol of devils. That's the way they put curses on people. And you've got people at rock concerts, they're all doing it, thinking it's cool. Marilyn Manson was
Spider-Man.
a follower of Anton LaVey.
Spider-Man.
He has tens of
I hate
thousands of people
Spider-Man
go
now.
to his rock concerts. He has them openly denounce God. Openly. He says, I want you all to reject God tonight. And they all do it. So this is real stuff, people. He's very committed to this. He takes it. He's a minister in the Church of Satan. And they use music. Because music is fitna. It's enticing. It sucks you in. You like it. It's enjoyable. Now, here's Miley with her little horn hair. Right? What is this? She had millions of followers of little kids in America, and this is what she turned into. And if you look, you see, where did she get that? Kali, a demon from the Hindu tradition of destruction, because this is a destroyer of the innocence of youth. She has literally, she's possessed by Kali.
Oh.
And she couldn't stop putting her tongue out. She was even asked, why do you do that? She said, I feel compelled to do it. Because this is who's really moving things around, Kali, a demon. If you notice, they use also backwards. It's haram to recite the Quran backwards. This is well known because in magic, they recite things backwards. Aleister Crowley taught them to learn how to talk backwards. John Lennon actually knew how to speak backwards. There's recordings of him speaking backwards. And they do backmasking on their albums where they actually play things in reverse. Led Zeppelin, followers of Aleister Crowley, did this on one of their albums. So you're getting literally magical messages.
I think that we all, as artists, because we're highly sensitive people, and this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essence.
The number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah.
Really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. Because I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out. And so I sold my soul to the devil.
Sold my soul to the devil. You know what? You can do a test. A very simple test. Do you guys have Spotify? Yeah, or something like Tunes or what? iTunes. Yeah, you try listening to the Quran, and you try to practice reading the Quran. Afterwards, you listen to the music. You realize you find it hard to go back to the Quran. which is not good lah. You're supposed to go back to the Quran. That's the proof that it's actually blocking your signals.
Yes, I believe in Illuminati. There is a certain level that you get at that you can't go no further unless you're aware of certain things. And I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level that you get to. That there's a door that you have to walk through. And it's on you to walk through that door. And once you walk through that door, it's no problem.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer.
We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel. We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ
again
have
pyramid
who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you can kind of piece it together as to why they are so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society.
Now you see in the West, people listen to music all the time. They're always plugged in. They get in their car, they turn on the music. They walk, they put in their earphones and they listen to their music, and people have long playlists. They spend a lot of money on these things. And so they're lost. They don't have free time to think anymore because their lives are filled with sound. So the demons have immense tools that they've never had before, and they're using them very effectively.
Yeah, these are all tools. We either worship the devil or we worship ourselves, and I think a lot are worshipping themselves.
This is
all this social media and all this.
Prophecy by our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Musical instruments will be on their heads. How did he know about that? That's what it says. I didn't make that up. It says they'll have ma'azib, ala ru'usihim ma'azib. On their heads are musical instruments. Who would have known what that meant at the time of our Prophet ﷺ? But now we see it, all these people everywhere. Your mind is filled with their thoughts. You're not even yourself anymore. You're listening to Rihanna or Madonna or Haifa Wahbi or whoever the latest fashionable singer is. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Yeah.
اللهم بلغ. اللهم بلغ. اللهم بلغ.
All right. What do you guys think? I think it's very powerful, the message behind the videos. And last one for tonight is about TV. Then we'll call it a night. But so far, I think it's an eye opener for some who first time getting to find out about this stuff. But it's also good for us to know about this, to be better prepared. So we spend more time in the Quran and reciting the Quran instead of listening to music. That's one example. Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to boast about them. Ja'akum ahl al-Yaman. The people of Yemen has come. They're soft-hearted. They have the wisdom. They have the yaqeen.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real.
the sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media simply are true without checking facts first.
Don't you find it strange? Everybody is kind of saying the same script.
Best proof. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is a chemical injection, and
this is extremely
dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Mind control.
dangerous to our democracy. Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
What's happening is we are being hypnotized from cradle to grave by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We're being programmed to see the world in a certain way.
Sihr is a reality in the world, and people practice magic. And one of the practices is through the eyes, seducing the eyes in television and spectacle. It's the sihr of the ayun. تُعْرَضَ الْفِتْنُ عَلَى الْقُلُوبِ كَالْحَصِيرِ. Now I want to interpret this hadith. Hasir is a mat. It's a matrix. It's like this. It has vertical and horizontal, and it's a mat. And the Prophet said that the fitan will be shown to the hearts like a mat. Udan. It has two lines, a horizontal and vertical line. This is the TV set. This is the set. It's a hasir. It's a mat. And the Prophet said the fitan will be shown to the hearts like a mat. Kal hasir. And this is how shaitan is destroying the hearts, by showing them the fitan on these films and on TV over and over again until people just become accustomed to violence. If you look, all of the research that we have indicates that media violence has increased in quantity, but it's also more graphic, more sexual, and more sadistic. This is the khutawat shaitan. If you watch films from the 1940s, the 1930s, the 1950s, you can see it's slow. This is how shaitan gets yastadrijuhum. He pulls them step by step. These are his khutawat. You start watching films, they've introduced violence. These are the khutawat of shaitan. And shaitan wants violence and sex are his two, these are because they're very powerful for the human psyche. And these are the two ways that he can really corrupt the heart. This is from the United States, so I'm using statistics from the US, but it's all coming to you, unfortunately. So 80% of R-rated movies, right? 70% of restricted video games, and 100% of music with explicit content, warning labels, were being marketed to children under 17. So they know what they're doing. These are the minions of shaitan, whether they're conscious of it or not. وَلَكِنَّهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They're unconscious. If you say, لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. We believe in freedom of speech. We believe in artistic expression. We're not sowing corruption. No, they're the corruptors. أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ. But they're unaware. So many of them are literally minions. By the time the average child in the United States is 18 years old, they will have seen 200,000 acts of violence and 16,000 murders. Our children have been programmed to be violent. This is the average time spent watching television, 5.11 hours in the United States every day. 99% of households that possess at least one TV, 2.4 TV sets in the average US household, right? Because some have 5, some have 1 in every room. 56% of Americans who pay for cable TV. 49% say they watch too much TV. Amazing. 34 hours per week over the age of 2 spent in front of a TV. 24 hours per week, 2 to 11 spent watching TV. 54% of 4 to 6-year-olds who, when asked to choose between watching TV and spending time with their fathers, preferred television. Average American youth, 900 hours in school, 1,200 hours watching TV, right? By the time they get out of high school. It's amazing. 16,000 number of 30-second TV commercials seen in a year.
Oops.
For all your support and hard work.
Wait for the adverts. Oops, I can't skip it yet.
So Gojek and you know what they call these? Now an important message from our sponsor. Message in Arabic is risala. This is the real reason they want you to buy and consume their goods, because it's a consumer civilization. Cartoons are very serious. This cartoon was done, it's for adults. The man that does this cartoon, literally, he's an atheist, doesn't believe in anything, makes fun of everything, cynicism, everything's a joke. Kids watch this show. It's a very sophisticated show. This is all about ghosts and demons and the occult. The Scooby-Doo has all these occult themes in it. You've got all these cartoons here now, and your kids are growing up on this crap. And you really have to think seriously, garbage in, garbage out. You have to think seriously about what's being done to your children's minds if you're letting them watch TV. Children imitate what they see. Now, Maleficent, you could see Disney, they used to have films where the witch was evil, and now they entice them. This is the fitna. They make a beautiful, they used to make them old hags. If you see the old film, the witch was an old hag, but we get them by degrees. Now they take somebody that many people consider a very beautiful woman, and they put her in Baphomet's mask, and then it becomes seductive. He takes people by degrees. I mean, what is this? Why are they doing this? Why are you wearing horns? We're human beings. We're not demons. And then you can see these signs. Why do they use these symbols? Why is there so much one-eye symbolism amongst these entertainers? I've never seen any normal person do that. Why do they do this? Because this is their religion. They worship the one-eyed God. Why are they preparing our children for one-eyed characters? Why? Why do they all do these one eyes? What's going on? Why are all their symbols with one eye?
And you know, when you're watching television, you go into a brainwave state that is akin to being in a hypnotic trance. And so much is fed through that system subliminally as well as actually to get us to see the world in a certain way. They want to manipulate what is in our heads so that we see the world they want us to perceive.
Dishes will communicate. Oh, satellite dishes, they meant.
إن من علامة الساعة وأشراطها أن تواصل الأطباق وأن تقطع الأرحام. This to me is one of the clear prophetic miracles of the Prophet ﷺ. Because I believe that the atbaq, and you know in Algeria, what do they call the dish? Tabaq. They call the satellite dish in North Africa atbaq. And that is a correct ta'rif. In the East, they call them suhoon or dishat. They call them suhoon, and that's an incorrect hadith because a sahan is a flat dish. The tabaq is a concave dish. And so atbaq is the correct meaning. And the Prophet used the very word that's used for satellite communications, muwasalat. He said, tuwasal al-atbaq, that the dishes will be communicating continuously and people will sever their family ties. In other words, people will stay home and watch television on satellite dish and they won't go visit their neighbors. This is an amazing hadith to me.
Oh, there's another one they cover on social media. but you can watch it on their channel. Yeah.
Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to yourselves, because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never gonna get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
The storm comes, there's no protection. Now there's no roof because the satellite goes through the roof. So it's beamed into your house. You don't have the protection of your home anymore. What did the Ashab al-Kahf do? They fled to the cave, right? And that will protect you from the Dajjal. Be in your cave. Guard yourself against these things. Your home is Darul Islam. Guard your home. Protect your home. Don't invite shaitan in. Protect your children. They're pure. They're innocent. Look at them. They're beautiful. They're ready to learn La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah by fitrah. They'll believe what you tell them. But if you put them in front of these things, they'll stop believing.
Okay. So talking about this video, right? No, sometimes when you see parents have the mobile phone and they play a video for their kids because their kids need to be tamed so that they can feed their kids and they can, be obedient for a moment. Yeah, that's quite dangerous because you don't know what video is playing, and the second thing is they are more connected to the video than to you as the parent. In the future, they will rely on the video for information than from the parent. That's what I notice, and it's quite catchy for the children's eye as well. Even for my son, sometimes when you're on the TV, he can just look at the TV and it's stuck. His eyes is just stuck there. So you need to get in between. Yeah, you have to get in between him and the TV, or switch it off entirely. Literally, yeah.
Ping Fong.
Yeah.
And even at his age, which is like nearly 2, right? He can get angry when you do that. I mean, they don't hold back their emotions, children, because they're free to express the way they want to express. So when they feel that you're annoying them, they do show like why you coming between me and what I'm doing, So that's when you have to educate them, say this is bad for you and stuff, So children at that young age already, you can see how easily
it's hard, man.
Drawn to
it's like parents don't even have a choice. It's like 2 parents at work, and and that's also the shaitan's work, to split the family. Then the parents are stressed out and they're like, "Oh, give me a break here, have a phone." You know what I mean? This is all part of the attack, right? That's why it really helps us to know about this stuff. Then we can
you
break
don't
out of
believe,
it. You know?
like for some of us who don't know that, watch Doctor Strange and you think it's just a show, right? Yeah, it's just a show, but a show with a lot of symbolism in there. Oh, why am I not showing this? Hang on one moment.
Right. Chamil Awari is saying that can we do a quick review of the End of Days by Vinny Paz? That one is good, but I think we'll reserve that for the next show, inshallah. And
What was that
maybe
about? End of Days?
don't worry, you'll just see, inshallah.
Okay.
And maybe Chamil Awari wants to be on the panel. Just reach out to Shaherald, and then he'll get in touch with you, inshallah.
Can you guys see this? I mean, is it clear enough, or should I zoom in more?
More curse signs.
Okay, I hope this is bigger.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, okay, look at the hand symbols, right? It's everywhere. I mean, Doctor Strange could just do anything else, but he chose to do the hand signal. Right? It's on the posters, it's constantly when he does a charm. Okay, then you might think, oh, it's just Doctor Strange because he's Doctor Strange, right? He's supposed to be strange, he's supposed to be doing mystical stuff. Okay, now let's look at Spider-Man. Something that
fun fact for treasure hunt for the viewers. If anyone watches the video where me and Brother Shaherald were talking about, Buddhism, and we went through the series of statues, look into that. There's a picture and how similar it is of how they are implicating Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha statues, with these hand symbols.
Yeah, okay, so see Spider-Man as well.
Brother, can you pull up the medical insignia?
What? For where?
The Caduceus symbol. CADU CAUS. It's the two snakes on the Hermes staff, wing staff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, this symbol as well. You see it. I mean, I know it as the medical symbol.
What is
it's literally on Baphomet's body. It's
that's also on Baphomet's
body. And anyone who believes the story that they say that, oh no, this is for the purpose of healing and leaning towards the Hermes story, the Greek mythology story, subhanallah, you are totally deceived. You fell into their deception. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from such thing.
If you're looking for it, it's here. This, don't know if you can see it. I mean,
and until the medical world stop using that sign, maybe you can start trusting them. Until then, do not. So many of you have been fooled. You are thinking illness is diabetes is a chronic condition, cancer is a chronic condition. No. All these can easily be resolved, can easily be cured. Just go back to original. Go back to nature.
Okay.
Infiltration once again, and it's all documented.
All right. So we shall end the stream. Really, it's 2 hours. Just want to finally just add the sponsor Hafiz program. Don't forget that Nyla is running this, sponsor the Hafiz program on Launch Good. Do check out the link will be on the video description below, also on the Instagram handle. And if you wish to donate, do be generous and drop your donations there. It's for children in Gambia, West Africa. They are not well-to-do, and they need help to be, practicing, memorizing the Quran, the Hafiz of the Quran, and it takes 3 years for them. These orphans will also be well cared for, and it only costs £19 a month to sponsor an orphan to study at Iqra Academy. So do drop in your donations if you wish to at the link, and inshallah we'll see you in the next episode. The next episode we'll have more topics on I think there will be a revert story. Then afterwards we'll have topics on jinns and rukia as well. So I guess you have a few people who will be sharing those stuff later on. For those who are interested to know a bit of those. Do not take wait. Okay, so what is that? This is a great stream. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm sorry guys if it's heavy and too long for some people. But the stream will still be available on YouTube. So you can, if they don't censor it and they don't take it out, but otherwise it will still be there. I won't take it out. So you can go back to it if you want. There's of course much more you can research on this stuff. Can't put everything. You see, so little stuff and already 2 hours and 20 minutes. So this is a long stream. So I hope I spent some quality time with you guys tonight and you benefited from it. InsyaAllah. Just remember, the Prophet always advised us to go back to the Quran and the Sunnah, and that's the only way we can protect ourselves fervently from such, deception. And we live in a very deceptive world out there, so hopefully we are more mindful, more aware, and take care of each other, your brothers and sisters as well. Yeah, so hope you guys have benefited from the stream, and thank you again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel Shaherald, and thanks to all the panelists, Brother Muhammad, Brother Adnan, and to our 2 panelists who had to go off because Brother Idris had to go to work. Sister Ruisi had to start making breakfast and to feed herself because she's hungry. it's morning time there in Canada. For all of us here in Singapore, it's 12:30 a.m. So we're going to sleep. And thank you for tuning tonight. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oops. Okay.